Hey folks, I'm sure this is a very exciting scene. Great silhouette here, but I'm not sure it's the best scene to be trimming a plant in. I'm gonna give it a shot, press for time today, but I want to get something out because this is gonna be a real quick one, even though this looks like it's a lot to tackle compared to my normal trimming. This isn't a lot to tackle because I'm not gonna be doing a normal trimming. On this one, I can zoom in while I say something. I'm just gonna be doing a little bit of maintenance to make sure stuff that I do want that stays and stuff I don't want that doesn't stay. Just real quick, hop up on this one. So I'm at about the right height. There we go. All right. So we're shooting is kind of a silhouette. I know it's not ideal again, but what I got. I'll give you a little more light here. But we're still kind of just stuck with a silhouette here, which is fine. That's all I need to show you. Start at the bottom. It's very easy to isolate all of these. Some new growth here in a little ditch. I'm going to scrape that off. These are growing good. I'm not upset per se with either of them. I'm not sure how good the view is here. I've got one coming back in towards the center and this one that's coming out. I'm gonna let this one that's coming out keep on growing. It's going the direction I want it to, finally. But this one in the back here, it's just not going the way I want. I'm gonna cut it back to the first leaf here. I don't want the branch. This is not a good direction, but if it comes back this way, I'll let it keep going. And there is the first cut. I do have a vertical piece coming off this, but as it is now, I plan on cutting back past that point. So I'm going to leave that just to feed more energy into this branch and really thicken this up. Do I intend to make that the leader? No, but maybe if this really does well, I could make that the leader. All right, now moving up the tree some more, I've got this branch and this branch. Well, really, it's all one branch. This one I'd left a weeping bit here. Little yellow leaf. I'm gonna take that out. Just an old leaf. Left a kind of weeping bit here to see what happened. It did grow. It grew some new shoots. So I'll take off the old leaves here. There's just the two, and maybe another old leaf there. I'll leave that though. And on this other part, I'd cut it off. A little dead bit at the end. And it grew both up and out. Now, I believe I trimmed it another time, headed this way, more than a couple times actually. But this vertical bit here is no good to me. So I'm going to take it all the way off. Same thing with this one. Might be hard to see from that perspective, but you can see here, this is a very vertical bit right here. I'm just going to take it off. And with this, I only have a shoot going up here. I don't want that. Before it goes too far, I'm going to take that and the leaf next to it off. And I will cut it back to here. It's higher than I want, but maybe this leaf, it'll come out this way. That would be good. We'll take off these old leaves in here. Don't want them. Now this is pretty well pruned up. Didn't do a lot to it. Figured, oh, this is an old leaf I can take off. At least touch it. This one, I don't foresee myself using any of the branches that are currently here, but I certainly don't foresee myself using this top one here. So again, the old leaf and that whole branch are going to come off. All right. And then I've got this branch here. Not terribly happy, but also not terribly upset. So I'm going to take off some dead bits while I say that. It's been pruned more than a couple times. It seems to be doing all right. I would like to have some movement farther in, but as it is now, honestly, it's kind of acceptable. The only exception is, you can see, this is growing back in, so I'm going to take both the leaf and the branch itself off. This one is a very old leaf, but it looks like it's doing good. Take this leaf off. I'm not sure I'm going to keep this part of that branch, but as it is, as long as it's not headed towards the center, it's kind of, filling in some space here, not worried about it. Then farther up, I get into the split in the trunk, and I get a lot of branching. I do want to thicken this all up, so I don't want to take everything off. Take off these ones on the inside here so that they're not clogging up. That's not to say I take all of them out. Ugh, like this is a pretty good one. However, it's headed back in. Didn't want that. And this one's almost there itself, but I'm going to redirect it out if I can. Let me see what happens there. Lower down on that branch, of course, I have this coming out. I really like it. I'm going to try to get to branch out a little differently. And over here, I'm going to do a similar sort of thing. I'm going to take the top off of this because this branch is no good. Actually, it's not bad. I just need to go back this way. So I'll take it off just out here. See if it goes back the other way. This keeps itself in a little wiggle. And on top of that branch, I had some stuff growing back in. You can kind of see it was right in here. That gone, it's much, much better. Now it's kind of the issue here is now I've got this going up, and this is coming in the same spot. That's the old leaf I can see better, but you can't see very well. They're kind of filling the same space. I have a little shoot off here, which I don't mind. That's actually not going in a good direction. I'm going to take it off. See where we're at there. It's a little better. Part of the tree is also getting kind of thick. It's fine, except that I don't want it to be too thick. Then this part right here, let's see. I don't want this coming to the center. It looks like I've already tried to redirect it. Now I just got to let it grow. Or I'll just take it off. It's going to give me some swelling there. I can't let it swell in places like that. Anywhere I've got too many branches or leaves, I just got to be wise about it. Again, the whole goal isn't to make it perfect, just to make it a little bit more manageable. Again, I'm hoping I get some good branches lower where I need them. So this part of the structure is kind of hard to look at. Again, this is headed in towards that. I did try to get it moving that way, and it might do that just fine. This branch here, off the main trunk, it would be kind of, over top of that, so I'll take that out. This one, that is the branch it decided to go with, so it's headed in the other direction. If I can get these two to separate, I'll be okay there, I think. This one is a good direction. I like that direction. I think as it is, this is kind of my leader up here. It's heading in a bad direction. It's not headed the direction I want to head at all. I kind of need to come back this way, and I have one headed that way. So I'm going to take it off there. That might help me. I've got other stuff going on there, but I hope that's about all I got to do with this. An issue I run into is this is very long. It will interfere with other plants in there, so I will take it back pretty hard to right there. Now, this branch, historically speaking, is not done very well. It doesn't like to grow nicely. Understandable, but we'll just have to see what happens. It's very probable, if not most probable, up top that this will end up being a new leader, and this whole thing here will be taken off. So then you'll kind of have it come in this way a little bit more. I like this branch. I just don't like that it's, so straight. I don't have another branch on that I can take it back to yet. I mean, there are buds on top here, so if I took it back now, I'm going to take it back now. A little harder. Because it is my experience, when you take the top off it, you just have a horizontal branch. That horizontal branch grows great. or you get some vertical growth farther back. And that's kind of what I want, actually. I kind of want some more growth farther back. We'll see what happens with that. This is actually branching nicely. I'll have to cut it back further, but I don't want this getting out of control or getting too thick. This is a really thick part of the tree. I think this tree is looking all right. I've always been told ficus are pretty easy. I disagree. I don't find them as easy. Especially these Benjamina. They do like to do silly things. So we'll see what happens. But as it is now, I'm being somewhat cautious with this one. Not terribly cautious. I'm just taking all the dead bits off the ends. But yeah, that's a lot off of this guy. I think it'll do well. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's going to affect it in any terrible way. Take off some of these old leaves closer in, of course, to clean it up some more. I don't know if anybody remembers, but this was a pretty traditional but typical mall bonsai. It was just one of those really, really wiggly ficus you would get from the store. I don't mind that style, but I found that this bulge right here just wasn't in proportion. So I cut back. Eventually, because this is healing okay here, a lot of cuts here still, I will probably try to carve that out. Because as it is, I think I've taken enough of and it just kept going, kept on doing its S curves. I think I took enough out of it that I can be happy with where this ends up. There are some spots I'd love to have growth, like here. Probably not here because it's too low, but I'd love to have some growth here to fill in over here. This is not the right branch for that. This has got to just come straight back. It'll be a kind of back branch. Because really, the front of the tree is probably right about there. So this one's not heading a great direction. But again, I'll fix that at a later time. Right now, I just want to grow, and because this is a nice branch to keep developing, I'll keep developing. I might get a new branch going this way farther back, and that's what I prefer. I don't like this long straight section here. Same thing with this branch, it's just long and straight. Despite the cuts I've made, and I can see I made a cut here, made a cut there, it just doesn't want to go the direction I want it to go. So that'll be a patience thing. I can't change what the tree is doing at this time, and I've already taken so much off it, I'm apprehensive about its growth rate during the winter. But I think, I shouldn't say I think, I am pleased with it. Not a bad spot. My leader is clearly defined as a leader. It's got decent movement. Not a huge amount of taper, but some taper. And again, if I can take this whole top off, that'll give me a lot of taper. And then, honestly, most of this stuff out front here will either be removed or, we'll just address that in the future. It'll probably be removed. Not starting from scratch, but really just calling them like I see them when it comes to this one. I do like all this bifurcation, but the idea of getting this as my leader and having all that taper, especially while I'm still trying to grow the root base out better. The root base is still kind of bleh. That's another project I'm working on. Again, patience is the name of the game. So I will get this back on the shelf, water it in. I don't think I have any good pieces for cuttings, or I would try to plant some as a cutting. Grow myself another microcarpa. Yeah, I'll try that. Not in this particular pot, but I'll try it out. So I will take one of these, see if I can get a cutting off of it. I know I said I wasn't going to on a lot of these. I don't have enough room for more trees, but these do grow okay in my experience. Sorry, I said microcarpa. I think it's a tiger bark. I'm not 100% what this thing is. And I got it from the mall. It said Ficus bonsai. So I never know. Tip off. All right. I'll plant that in something and we'll see if it grows. Worst case scenario, it doesn't. I'm in the same exact spot. But I appreciate you all watching. I will catch you tomorrow with another episode. I think I'm almost at 300 episodes, and I think I'm almost at 500 followers. I've been told by a lot of people, and I keep forgetting to, acknowledge that. Remember to make sure you're not being unsubscribed. If you are subscribed and actively watching, there's quite a few of you that are very, very active. Thank you all for your kind words and your attention. I need to get caught up on everyone else's videos while I'm doing this. I'm getting a little more free time back. So I'm going to start getting caught up on people's videos and leaving my own comments. And I look forward to it. I love watching all of the ideas you all come up with. It's really nice to watch how someone develops a tree and their ideas for it. And it's very encouraging for me. So I look forward to that. I guess I'll just have to catch you folks on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Cheers.